Headline risk has been big here lately. Headline risk has been driving the markets wildly in both directions. We're going to continue to watch the levels here for these markets because, again, we're seeing tremendous volatility, wide-ranging trading range days. That means that the volatility can swing dramatically in both directions. So we're going to watch the key levels for that. We're going to look at some of the intraday charts, 60-minute charts, and we're also going to dig into gold. It's a bounce back day. That's what we were looking for heading into today. Also going to take a look at crude oil. Crude oil, and again, war in the Middle East here is leading to increased volatility across the board. Crude oil right now still trading around that 74 level. We'll take a look here as we dig into the charts. Let's take a look right away. This is crude oil right here. Inside day at the moment, but it's a wide-ranging inside day, 124% of ADR already. If you look at the 5-day average range, this market is averaging 4.74 points per day. That's a lot of volatility right now. You don't have to go too far back to remember when this market would barely average $1.40 or something like this. We were way down here, not even trading, barely $1 a range to end the year, and now we picked up volatility in a big time way. So again, for today's levels here, we have 74 again continues to be the level that it's pegged at. We could continue to see dramatic back and forth price action. This is a two-way swing here with headline driven risk. So a positive headline swings it one way, negative headline swings it the other way. We're going to continue to see that type of price action up ahead. If we drill down to the 4-minute charts here of crude oil though, these are the 4-minute time frame with the intraday bands at the moment. It is trying to find a series of lows here after some selling pressure in pre-market trading. This is a zone right here to keep an eye on around that 73.50 zone to 74. At the moment, seeing some participation during pre-market trading here. If this thing can hold this edge, this is an opportunity here where we could see a return back to VWAP up ahead and maybe a return to that VPOC up above. So again, this could be an opportunity here where we begin to see some strength off these intraday lows. Again, 74, the key level to watch there. Let's take a look here at the ES, and we're going to switch views here, and we're going to take a look at the ES with the bigger view here. And we're going to drill in right now. This is a chart here that really shows, again, the wide-ranging volatility that we're seeing right now, especially with regards to the headline risk. This is a headline-driven market right now, and when that's the case, like I said, negative headlines one way, swing price one way, positive headlines swing it the other. It's constant mitigation of both sides, and you're seeing that play out here quite evidently. If you just look at these last several days, that's about the last 5 or 6 days, the average range here has really kicked up. It's 113 right now, 114 on average for the last 5 sessions. That's pretty significant to be over 100 points per day. Even the 10-period average right now, 99 points at the moment as we head into the RTH session right now. So quite a bit of volatility. But like I said, if you look at, for example, a 60-minute time frame here, look at the back and forth we've had. Heavy selling, heavy strength, heavy selling, heavy strength, pullback, bounce. A lot of two-way trade. So don't fall in love with one directional move right now. Stick and move. This is a high volatility market, so you have to mind your risk, play to closer targets, get to that T1, get to break even quickly in the trade, and then look to carry on the scales across the way. So right now, we are precisely at a flat VWAP for the week for the ES. These are weekly bands right here. Current price action is between those bands, and we see a flat VWAP right there. When that's the case, when that's the case, you definitely want to look to fade the edges and be more disciplined about having the patience to wait for the extremes. Now, that's a little ways up there to be that patient from a swing perspective, but to get into the 69 zone, that's an opportunity to fade it back. To get down here into the 67, 67.20 zone, opportunity to fade it back until proven otherwise, as this market remains a two-way trade. Looking at the higher time frame of the NQ right now, very similar price action as well. Very similar price action here. And of course, this is live right now. So thank you again for joining me live. My name is Frank Ochoa, also known as Pivot Boss, author of the book Secrets of a Pivot Boss. You can get the links in the description below. As always, if you have any chart you'd like me to take a look at, or you have any questions specifically, we can jump into the chart here during these pre-market live streams, trying to keep them nice and tight, 20-25 minutes max here, and get everyone on to their day. So let's take a look here at the NQ right now. Inside day at the moment, a wide-ranging inside day, 93% of ADR. Again, if we get out to the extremes of the previous session's range, it's likely a fade back into the range. So, for example, coming up above 25K could be an opportunity to fade it back into the range below. Likewise, if we drop down here below 400, it could be a fade back up. That's just the market we're in right now. Back and forth we go, especially on headline-related risk. Looking at the YM. Now, the YM had gave us the biggest drop in the previous session. During the morning session here, that was a huge, huge move down. If we take a look here at our indicator, we can bring this back one day here and show that the previous session was 195.5% of ADR. Anytime you get about 200% of ADR, it is a significant day. Tends to be a day one rejection, day one breakout, day one transition day, something. In this case, we continue to see it be high range volatility, but no real directional conviction. And that's very odd. To finish above the previous session's midpoint was important. And now you see the bulls defending that midpoint on a little initial checkmark move up. Perhaps this thing could carry toward 49, but we get to 49K above the previous session's high. That could be a trap opportunity right there. Trap and reverse. On the flip side, that midpoint from yesterday, today's low, intraday, that's going to be very important as well. Let's look into the intraday 4-minute. This is what the 4-minute chart looks like right now. Wide bands. Wide bands right now. Very clear trading range action. You can see a little bit of rounded bottom up to here. The bands are still really, really wide though. So R3 would be up into this zone. That means if we get into the 48.9 zone, that's an opportunity to fade it back toward VWAP. Down here in the 48 zone, that's an opportunity to fade it back to VWAP as of right now. So keep those levels on your charts. All right, let's take a look now at gold. Now for gold here, I do want to go into the bigger view here. So let's switch views here. On this one right now, this is gold in the daily time frame. This is something we've been looking at in terms of a bounce back day for today. We see a massive sell-off in the previous session here. That was unexpected. I was not expecting that amount of weakness here. But we do know after heavy selling pressure tends to come the bounce. We've seen it time and time again, not just this year, but even last year during the run-up. Big day down, bounce. Big day down, bounce. Big day down, bounce, bounce. Even a little day down, bounce. Big day down, bounce. Par for the course, exactly what we were looking for. Now, we didn't get that new low, though. We were looking for a failed new low, for a push back up, for the best case scenario. But yesterday afternoon, because we closed well off the lows of the day's range, I mentioned a new low may not be in play. And so we were looking at like 50-50. Can it get to 50-50 and then rally up to 5,200? Something like that. 50-60 and rally up to... So we were looking for a 140-point move. But this is an inside day, very quiet so far. And it's a current range of 125 points. So not bad. Not bad at all. Wait, is that right? Just got to make sure this is right. Yep. So right in line with what we were looking for. If this day can continue to hold in this fashion and close on a bullish note, and even better, close above yesterday's midpoint, then that could open up a check mark continuation higher for 5,500 over the next several days. It's very similar to, say, this move or that move or any of these moves following a high range day where it just continues to work its way higher. The key level here continues to be 5,000 near term. You fail at 5,000 and you open up some lower levels. So that's the key level to watch there. For gold, moving back over, let's take a look now at Bitcoin. Actually, we'll do Bitcoin right here. This is Bitcoin, and you can see the entire crypto complex right now is higher. 5% for Bitcoin, Ethereum up 4 1/3, 3 1/3 for XRP, and 6 1/4 here for Solana. Bitcoin of that group, while not the biggest percentage mover, is in the best spot right now in terms of a potential breakout. And this is going to be something that we're really going to pay attention to, because oftentimes in this down move, we've seen Bitcoin get above range and then we've seen it get trapped and then rotate back down. So, and we're not even truly above the top of this range right now. If you look at this range here, this is kind of the top right there. This is the middle inside highs. But really, when we're quantifying this range, which is now 17 days wide, I'm using this high right there, and I'm using this low right there. I'm ignoring the big bars to the left. That was price discovery with a low. Once it bounced, it established the range. That's day one range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-day compression. But we are still inside the range. I would still urge caution. I know I mentioned before, if we break up, I wouldn't mind taking a nice little swing. But at the same time, it needs to be a true transition breakout move, not something where it barely gets above the highs like it did over here and then dropped. It could happen again and drop. It's the same pattern that's been happening this entire decline. Since we hit the 127 highs, we've seen it try to get above range and drop, try to get above and drop, over here and drop, this one drop, that one drop. It just can't get going. So still pessimistic right now for Bitcoin. 76K is still the major transitional level to watch. So if this thing does break up, we need to bust through 75K in a meaningful way, and then the swing is on. Until then, any strength right now could still be sold, and we're at 50K in a couple of weeks. So I would still urge caution. Tremendous energy being built up here in Bitcoin. And if we look at Ethereum, again, doesn't look quite as bullish as Bitcoin. This one is still below the highs from last week, still below the 2150 level, but look at the precision off that 2150 market structure. That's a significant box that is developed below there. And that's why I mentioned before that if we're going to take a swing long, this is the time that could be right for a swing long. Because if you can push through that 2150 with some juice, you really do have some upside here back toward 2,900 and 3,000. So that would be a meaningful move. You know, you could be looking at a 50% rally just to bounce right there, or whatever that might be, depending on how far we go. That's meaningful. So again, we know what to look for, but not going to get trapped on any kind of weak breakout attempt. All right, well, that's going to go ahead and do it. Actually, let's see, Brent crude. We do have a Brent crude question here. Sorry, I didn't see that a little bit earlier here. Brent crude oil futures here. Ooh-wee, look at that. That's a tremendous rally right to the 84 level. I haven't looked at Brent crude in a while. Actually, I'm on the wrong shot here. There it is. I haven't looked at Brent crude in a while, But that is a pretty tremendous move from the Russia data set there. And of course, that breakout significant right to 84s here. This looks like an aggressive price discovery move right now into some highs not seen in a long time. You can see the trend down had been in play. These are quarterly highs, and then it busts through the quarterly high and expands through multi-quarter highs. That's a big-time move. An impulse move to the upside right now playing out, but there's no strong high. Even a pullback like this could look bearish here, but again, that's could be an uptrending mode until proven otherwise. Kind of a price discovery phase happening right now. Yeah, this is quite bullish here for Brent crude. And I would imagine that when you get a breakout of this magnitude, we could see some development and continuation until we put that strong high in. Hey, good to see you all. Welcome. Yes. Again, this has been a lot of fun going on the live streams. I know it's been some just some hurdles to jump over just because it's a learning curve here. But again, I'm getting some great feedback here, some great participation. Every single one's going a little bit better. So again, I always welcome feedback, comments, and all the things. So as we continue to make this stream a little bit better here, as always, this is just a teaser before we jump into our trading room. You can find our Discord trading room link in the link below and all the other training we offer. But this is the type of things we're doing every single day. I do want to say thank you very much for joining me for today's live stream. We'll be back at it again for another live stream tomorrow morning. Again, find us in the trading room in the link below. Everyone have a fantastic trading session, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.